Life can change in an instant. The loss of a spouse or the end of a marriage is not only an emotional transition, it's also one of the most significant financial turning points a person may ever face. Today, we're going to talk about financial planning after divorce or the loss of a spouse and how thoughtful decisions can help restore clarity, stability, and long-term confidence. Here's the mindset shift I want you to take away. Financial planning during transition is not about rushing to rebuild everything at once. It is about creating structure when life feels uncertain. With the right framework, this period can become a foundation for long-term financial independence rather than a source of lasting instability. I'm David Stevens with Stevens Capital Partners. Major life transitions often bring financial decisions that feel urgent and overwhelming. Many people find themselves asking, where do I even begin financially after everything has changed? How do I manage assets that were once shared responsibilities? And how do I rebuild stability while adjusting to a new reality? Divorce or the loss of a spouse reshapes income, expenses, taxes, investments, and long-term goals all at once. During these moments, decisions made under stress can have lasting consequences. Today, we will walk through 3 essential areas that help individuals regain financial footing: understanding asset division, rebuilding cash flow, and creating a strategy for long-term financial stability. Together, these steps help transform uncertainty into a clear and manageable plan. Point number 1, understand and organize asset division. The first priority after divorce or loss is understanding exactly what you own, what you owe, and how assets are structured moving forward. Assets are often more complex than they appear. Retirement accounts, real estate, brokerage portfolios, pensions, and insurance policies may each have different tax treatments and long-term implications. The true value of an asset is not just its current balance, but what remains after taxes, fees, and time. According to research published by the National Endowment for Financial Education, nearly 70% of individuals going through a divorce report discovering financial details they were previously unaware of, highlighting the importance of careful financial review during transitions. Here are some quick practical actions. Create a complete inventory of assets and liabilities, understand the tax consequences before transferring or selling assets, and update ownership titles and beneficiary designations. After marriage, divorce, or remarriage, a lot of people think they've updated their beneficiaries. But when I ask, can you show me the document? That's when the surprise hits. I've seen people discover right there in the meeting that their ex-spouse is still listed as a beneficiary while their current spouse is sitting next to them. That's a tough moment. So here's the rule. If we don't see it, it's not real. Don't assume it got done. Don't trust your memory. Verify the paperwork. Review your ownership titles, check your beneficiary designations, and make sure your legal and financial team are aligned. Because when it comes to your money and your estate plan, intentions mean nothing. Documents mean everything. Asset division is not simply about splitting value evenly. It's about ensuring financial sustainability long after the transition is complete. Point number 2, rebuild cash flow and financial independence. Once assets are organized, the next step is establishing a sustainable cash flow plan. Household income often changes dramatically after divorce or the loss of a spouse. Expenses that were once shared now fall on a single income stream. Without a clear spending and income framework, even substantial assets can erode faster than expected. Data from the U.S. Census Bureau shows that household income declines by an average of 30% following divorce, underscoring the need for proactive budgeting and financial restructuring. Here are some other quick practical actions. Build a new budget based on current income rather than past lifestyle. Separate essential expenses from discretionary spending. Review insurance coverage and emergency savings needs, and align withdrawal strategies with realistic spending expectations. Cash flow planning restores control. It replaces uncertainty with visibility and helps ensure day-to-day financial decisions support long-term goals. What is often underestimated in a transition like this is that the adjustment is not purely financial. It is also deeply psychological. For many affluent families, the more significant shift is not simply creating a new cash flow plan, but redefining the role the balance sheet must play in this next season of life. Assets that were once positioned primarily for long-term growth may now need to be reoriented to provide liquidity, stability, and dependable cash flow without losing sight of the long-term purchasing power, tax efficiency, and legacy objectives. That can be a difficult decision for someone who's spent years thinking like an accumulator of wealth. Moving from growth-first mindset to a framework that emphasizes income, capital preservation, and flexibility often requires a meaningful shift in investor psychology. In some cases, a client may choose not to return to work for a period of time, whether to focus on children, family stability, personal healing, or simply to create margin during a major life transition. In that environment, the portfolio may need to serve as a private balance sheet designed not only for appreciation, but to systematically support lifestyle needs, near-term obligations, and strategic flexibility. This is where sophisticated planning becomes essential. At this level, the work is not simply about generating income from investments. It is about architecting a coordinated strategy across the entire financial picture. Liquidity reserves, portfolio design, tax-aware withdrawal sequencing, trust and estate considerations, insurance analysis, and long-term stewardship of capital. Every decision must be made in the context of the client's broader life, family priorities, and long-term objectives. There's no standardized formula for this. The strategy must be custom-built, reflecting the complexity of the assets, the required cash flow, the desired lifestyle, and the family's vision for the future. Because true wealth planning is not just about preserving assets, it is about structuring capital with intention, so the family has clarity, confidence, and the freedom to move through a major transition with stability and dignity. Point number 3, create a strategy for rebuilding financial stability. The final step is shifting focus from immediate recovery to long-term stability and growth. After a major life transition, many individuals feel pressure to make large investment changes quickly. But rebuilding financial confidence often comes from consistency rather than dramatic action. A study from Fidelity Investments found that individuals who maintain a long-term financial plan and continue investing consistently after major life events are significantly more likely to regain financial confidence within 2 years compared to those who pause or even abandon planning altogether. Here are some quick practical actions. Reevaluate long-term goals such as retirement timelines and legacy planning. Number 2, adjust investment strategy to reflect new risk tolerance and time horizons. And then number 3, establish automatic savings or investment contributions. Finally, schedule regular financial reviews to track the progress and adjust gradually. Financial stability is rebuilt step by step. Progress compounds when decisions are guided by a clear strategy rather than short-term emotion. So consider these questions this week. Number 1, do I fully understand the assets and responsibilities now in my name? Does my current cash flow reflect my new financial reality? Am I making decisions based on long-term planning rather than short-term stress? And what would financial stability look like 1 year from today? Financial recovery after divorce or loss is not defined by how quickly things return to normal. It is defined by how intentionally a new financial foundation is built. Divorce or loss of a spouse can mark one of the most difficult transitions in a person's life. While the emotional impact is deeply personal, the financial path forward does not have to be faced alone. With thoughtful planning and the right support, it is possible to begin rebuilding a sense of clarity, stability, and confidence. When asset decisions are organized, cash flow is sustainable, and long-term planning is approached with care, the next chapter can begin to feel more manageable, one step at a time. If this episode connected with you and you would like guidance navigating financial decisions after a major life transition, we would be honored to help. At Stephens Capital Partners, we work closely with individuals and families to create personalized financial plans designed to provide clarity, support independence, and help bring peace of mind through every season of life. If you found this episode helpful, please like this video and subscribe so you don't miss future episodes. I'm David Stephens with Stephens Capital Partners. Thank you for spending this time with me, and I'll see you next time.